Shalom Chevra, how's it going? I'm a little displaced because one, my apartment is very noisy right now, thank God. But two, it's such a beautiful day, I thought I had to go outside. So it's interesting because we find a very famous verse in this week's Parsha. A verse that we say every time we take out the Torah, Vayhi bin So'aron. It's delineated by a nun beforehand and a nun afterwards. It's these two verses. And it's also displaced. Rashi says, what's it doing here? Why are we talking about how the Aron was led? That should have been mentioned earlier in Parshas Bamidbar when we talk about all of the Shvatim and how they would travel. Why are we talking about it right here? What's so special about right here? So if you start reading the verses around it, and Rashi makes this comment that you see that there's retribution given to Am Yisrael. Retribution beforehand and retribution afterwards. So if we look afterwards, we see it says that there was this Erev Rav, and they were starting to complain, and they got more people to complain, and God brought his fire down into the camp of Israel. Oh, that's retribution. What's the retribution from beforehand? Well, it's a little unclear. You see, the thing is, it says that Am Yisrael left from Har Sinai. They left from Har Hashem. And it took them 3 days and they went on their travel. It seems a little strange. It just says that they left. What's the retribution? So the Gemara says Am Yisrael left. They left like a child leaves school. I know it's June, but we're not really attached to this idea. What happens in June? School's out. Yeah, free. You know, we're so happy to leave school, those of us that are in school, or those of us that can remember when we were in school. That's not the mentality that we need to have. Certainly not after learning Torah, not after leaving from Hashem Shechina, Har Sinai, to be, yeah, school's out, Torah's done. It was the wrong idea. And even though there's no actual retribution or physical punishment from Hashem, the punishment is the mentality. Meseles Yesharim speaks about this constantly. We often get ourselves into a certain mentality, and that breeds a certain way of thinking. The best thing to do, says the Meseles Yesharim, how do you awaken yourself to a sense of serving Hashem? You have to have a mindset. The Baal Shem Tov famously says, you are where your mind is. We have to have a mindset, the Meseles Yesharim says, of gratefulness. When you can be grateful for what you have, it pushes you to say, I need to serve Hashem. What can I do? Times like this are difficult. We kind of want to be done with it, but we're still a little bit apprehensive. We're not really done with this COVID. I just want to get back to normal. It can breed a certain mentality of frustration, a mentality of angst. What I would suggest, be grateful for what we have. Thank God my house is as noisy as it is, and I have to run outside. Thank God it's a beautiful day and we all can appreciate it. Chevra, with a mentality like that, we can breed a sense of gratefulness, which can ultimately awaken us. Vayhi bin So'aron, for that our own Aron to be open, to carry Hashem's word, gratefulness and happiness. Shabbat Shalom.